2013 and I come in at the game, it feel like a hero because the country, I tell you how much I mean, I demands for this and that. I'm going to put in all work, catch up to my yield factors, match with the radars, everything, and we just feel like a hero. The whole of it started from 2013, 2014 coverage, and we just feel like a hero. Now we feel like a downplayed hero. Because all of this was imposed by the IMF. Oh, football podcast, the country can't afford to pay them back. So we march out to it aggressively. If you know someone pay back the IMF debt, help the country. Now we need help. The country need help back. Yeah, somewhere slow.
Shalom, Akim. Shalom. Alright, all praise going on now. Be to the Most High. Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, Ba Hashem Makar Kodash. Kala them Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, Ba Hashem Makar Kodash. Yahweh is a true name for the Almighty. And Yahweh Shai is a true name for his Son. Double honors to our apostles of James, Eunice Stone. Salutations to the Akim pushing his truth in our sincerity. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, Indian, West Indians, or the Israelites. We are the chosen people of the Heavenly Father. Our Heavenly Father has chosen us to be a special people unto himself. But because of our disobedience and wickedness, the punishment of slavery, the curses written in Deuteronomy 28 chapter from the 15th verse on down, was poured upon us, as a punishment and a sign, on our people that, we are the people that disobeyed the laws of the Heavenly Father, man. Now, they started watching the video a while ago. It goes back to those curses that when we're not blessed, regardless of what people might think, living in their ignorant state, we are a cursed people. And all of this that you're seeing right here is these onions are what, they are him and other farmers have large amount of onions that they can't sell. Right, because there's a large imports of what they call it, imported onions that look bigger and cheaper that people are flocking to. People are buying more than the local onions. So farmers like these are, basically suffering. And as you hear him mention that, it's basically it's part of the IMF what they call austerity measures. Where that's part of the austerity measures where imported goods come in, a lot of it, and the local produced and not sold are barely selling. So onion importers are pushing back against suggestions that their business is killing local farmers. So the importers are disagreeing that their business are kill local farmers, but this has been the thing from, I think it's from the first IMF deal, where farming start to basically come under attack from the dairy, industry to the different farming aspect, meat, vegetables were allowed to come in on a cheaper price than the local, and it has been so for a long while. So this is not a make-up story that these farmers are talking about. So now experiencing a glut. So we have a thing, this word them say there's a glut in the market where the produce exceed the demands. The produce is more than the demand. There's a glut, when they call there's a glut in the market, you have a whole lot of produce but it exceed the demand. So since the first round of reaping began following the devastation wrought by Hurricane Melissa, local farmers have been howling about their inability to sell their produce, resulting in hundreds of pounds of rotting in the field. And as we say, really go back to the curses. You know, we are not a blessed people. And this is not just this aspect, it has been on a large scale farmers in different aspects. Sometimes, you know, the whole crop just go to waste. Yeah. And you know, whose imports are coming into the country, the other nations are coming in. The banana industry in Jamaica got destroyed. They systematically destroyed that, along with the coconuts, which was attacked and poisoned by what you call lethal yellowing, which was a deliberate attack, man. Same thing with the banana. Then they sprayed a kind of form of chemical, I forgot the name of it, right? That restrict them from actually importing, because we used to export a lot of bananas, green bananas. So the so-called white man is part of our curse, all right, which is the enemy that the Most High say must send from afar. He is part of our curse, man. The fact that he's above us in the rulership seat at this moment, it's a part of our curse. You know, it shows that we are not blessed. Now get to Deuteronomy 28 chapter, then verse 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. That's another thing. All right. And what Esau does to show you that he is part of our curse. When the locusts are and different, what they call bats, are destroying the crops, Esau have chemicals that they call roundups, and different kind of chemical sprays that they use to spray on the vegetables, which those are cancer causing chemicals. All right, so he's part of our curse in the field. All right, he said, "Thou shalt plant vineyards like that man did, and dress them, and do whatever I need, fertilize, weed the wild grasses, you know, ingest it, but shall neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them." See? So if it's not rotting, then if it's not being eaten by a pest, if it's not being, you know, staying unable to sell, so then just rot. Some different level of the curse, different levels of the curse that affect our people. Thou shall sorry, I'm gonna go back up at the point. There's another point that I wanted to get. Yeah, verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Then cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Nobody now, not just like how nobody now buy, or them barely can get their goods to sell, because imported goods are destroying the market. Then are destroying their crops. When they say cursed shall thou be in the field, then that word field definitely I talk about cultivation. Then cultivated field. See? So that's why scripture say you're gonna sow, and you're gonna sow and bring in little, man. Deuteronomy 28 verse 39, thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them. I will just read, but thou shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. And the days ahead are coming are going to be worse. We are entering into some very serious times where, you know, the likes of famine, you know, scripture referred to other times, even historically things are happening in the Bible. You know, dirt where there is no rain. So because there's no rain, farmers are unable to plant because they won't grow, and the streams will be dried up. Amos 5:16. Therefore the Lord Yahweh, the God of hosts, the Lord said, thus wailing shall be in all streets. So you're gonna have people all around just crying, bawling, mourning, because of the lack of bread, because of the terribleness of the of what will be happening around them. And you can imagine it, but you're gonna be far past your imagination. And nothing wrong for even try to look. And scripture tell about the poor that man foresee the evil. So you have to know the evil will come, and find a way and pray that the Most High hide you under His wings, under His tabernacle, in His tabernacle. You see? Because the scripture said, thou that abide in the shadow of the Almighty. And that's where the safety is. Because the days that are coming, He's going to take divine intervention, when it comes to one being safe. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous run into it and is safe. That's where it begins. All right? That's where the safe haven is. But for most people, they are the ones that are going to wail in all streets, all corners of the earth, in all countries, every street and every lane. And they shall say in all the highways, alas, alas, which is a lamentation, an exclamation for basically it's a mourning term. And they shall call the husbandman to mourning, and such as are skillful for lamentation to wailing. So even this man, he's a husbandman. A husbandman is basically what you call a killer of the soil. He's a farmer. You see? And them would be the strong ones. The ones where you think can keep it together. You see? They shall call the husbandman. Hebrew word there is a car, plowman, husbandman, farmer, working the land, yet not owning any of it. And that's our people. They are working the land and them not own it. And that's part of our curse, or our lands get taken away from us. A lot of these farmers that are working on lands, they are called lease lands. They lease the land. And there are times when some of them get removed. They get removed from it. You have farmers of hundreds of acres of tomatoes, and the government just removed them from it because it was leased land. Yeah, it don't belong to them. And what that tomato farmer did was all he had to do was just mourn and wondering where he might get back land so he can farm. Because the land also that he was farming on is horrible. Horrible land, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, meaning fertile land. Good for farming. But that's what it go back to. Go back to us, our people being cursed, working the land. So our husbandman working the land, yet not owning any of it. And that's the predicament that our people in, and it go back to the curses, what we did to the Most High. Hence we in this situation, looking to the government, looking to the east or the so-called white man for want of all things. All right. Amos 5:17, and in all vineyards shall be wailing, for I will pass through thee, saith the Lord. See? Your crops gonna wither away. So these are just some simple times, really. Just some misfortunes here and there. But the times that are coming where you won't be able to see produce like this because of the terrible famine that is coming. See? Now there's really a glut in the market, in some cases. And the market is basically reasonable right now. We go to the market regular. So we know foods are very it's affordable. See? You have sometimes going to the market, you have $100 market, $100 toast, small. Sometimes $100 market, you can get a lot of things for $100 per pound, But the scripture says, before me even read that, there's a precept that I wanted to get come to my mind a while ago and then it fly, it slip out. Um, it's in second Ezra, I believe. Um, I precept come to mind, but it totally slip out of mind. No, I'm gonna read Second Chronicles 7 and 12. The point is in 14, but I want to build it up from 12. He said, and Yahweh appeared unto Solomon, because Yahweh is the true name for you, and Father appeared to Solomon by night, and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer, and have chosen this place to thyself, and have chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land. So these things that are happening to the land, whether it's by locusts or by whatever means of destruction, the Most High is the one with the power that is doing that. Or if I send what? Pestilence among the people. All right, if my people, so if these things happen, right? If these things happen, you have to know and understand that they are from the Most High. So when you what you might tell you for doing in these cases is if my people, so if this happen, and if in people, if my people which are called by my name, we are Israelites, Yasharala, we are sons, we are children of the Most High. All right. So if his people, my people, shall humble themselves and pray, and part of humbling yourself is acknowledging that you're acknowledging your faults, acknowledging your wickedness. So if you humble yourselves and pray, beg, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sins, and will heal their land. Your land will be healed. So and that's what's gonna happen in the end of this world, the end of this society. The Most High is gonna bring us back to our land. And that land that the Most High is gonna bring us to is the land of Israel. Zin, which is that's where they is labeled as, in that region is labeled as what, the Fertile Crescent, and it's going to be totally different from what you're seeing on TV. It said to heal, make healthful. So right now the land, is not healed. The land is not in a good state. The whole earth. That's why scripture tell you how they destroy the inhabitants of the earth, destroy the earth, which is basically going back to Esau and the other people. They destroyed the earth. That's why in Revelation, when say when him come, him go also destroy them or destroy the earth. Because the earth is destroyed. All right. There is a land Sabbath where you should let the land heal. Zine. So it can go back to healthful state, but there is none of that. Right. So when the most they are going to heal the land, the earth are going to be at rest. So it can go back to healthful state. To heal, God, physician, right? And it will produce that green and that lush look that it's supposed to have. So it says what? Repair. Repair. That means it was at a farmer state, the farmer state, which was that garden of Eden, and Eden itself, which means paradise. Right now, it means in a paradise state, within a very degenerative state, broken down. So what the Most High will do when he deliver with people, he might go heal the land, repair it, he might go restore. Of hurts of nations involving. So he's not going to restore it, not this, but he might go restore it, make it healthful, cure, heal, like a physician. And that's what the Most High are gonna be, the physician. will heal the entire earth and heal the entire people of Israel. All right. So hopefully this lesson was edifying to the hopefully like the precept that came to mind I have it says victuals shall be sold good cheap so that they may think themselves to be in good case. So even though you have people, where I go through them kind of suffering here, you still have other. That's what the food are basically at a cheap state right now, to the point where a lot of it not even being sold. So hopefully this lesson was edifying, to the hopeful elect. Until next time, I say shalom.